Welcome to the Top Gun Show. Today we have John Lepore. John is the Director of Channel Sales for TPX Communications in the Northeast. John's my counterpart. Before joining TPX over 6 years ago, he served for a combined 14 years as a Director of Channel Programs for Fusion, Yipes Enterprise Services, and WinStar Communications. John, welcome to the show.
Thanks, Steve. Great to be here. I appreciate it.
Yeah, nice to have you on board.
Yeah, for sure.
And you're doing a great job in the East for TPX. I know that I won't say we're a household name in the West, but in the East you've got
Yeah.
new introduction of TPX. So you're doing a great job.
Well, thanks for saying that. I appreciate that too.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you've been doing channel management for over 20 years. What changes have you seen in the indirect channel over that time?
Well, other than me aging considerably, wow, I can't believe it. I can't believe it's 20 years. Actually, it's more than that. But yeah, I mean that's a great question. One of the I was just talking a couple team members about this. For sure, Steve, there's less and less direct agreements being done these days, right? Almost all of our partners are now under master agents. I mean, we work with every master agent pretty much out there in the country, right? So that's a big difference. Even 5 years ago here, we were signing direct agreements. Not a lot, but there's almost none of that happening these days, right? So everyone's under masters. The other thing is that it is incredibly competitive, right? More now than ever as far as vying for wallet share, if you will, of that partner, right? We just had a conversation with a partner recently that had 20 of us in their portfolio, and we're looking at them trying to say, hey, you should work with TPX, and trying to find those key differentiators to make them move to us, right? That's a big mountain to climb these days, but it's more competitive. There's less, as I said, direct agreements being done, and the ones that are very successful have pivoted to managed services, right? To create a whole nother revenue stream for themselves. So that's a big difference that I see as well, where it used to be the hosted PBX folks and selling circuits, where that's kind of going by the wayside. And of course that fits into what we're doing as a managed services provider, right? So, those are key things to me that are different.
Yeah, absolutely. The agency that I was running before, the circuits were going down between 17 and 20% a year. With a more mature book of business, because as they come out of contract, it's really the race to zero. And so we pivoted the agency from all circuits to, when I left last year, it was about 65% managed services, and TPX was and still is the number one provider there. Right. Let's talk a little bit about what some of your top sales partners are doing. There's been a lot of buzz around the fact that we've entered a new norm in the indirect sales channel. So what are some of your top sales partners doing to really propel them ahead of the pack to ride this wave of opportunity right now in this marketplace?
Yeah, another great question. Something that is brought up all the time. The folks that we're working here with in the East, Steve, that have really have flourished. Maybe that's too strong of a word, but what the successful ones are doing, what they did right away, is they embraced the change, right? There was a lot of fear and uncertainty, right, when this whole thing happened. It's definitely a new normal, new world we live in, for sure. I agree with that statement. What our partners have done is they've really, they embraced it quickly, got out in front of it, started really, coming to us and saying, how can we strategies for us to get in there with remote working, solutions for our customers, right? They got on top of it, got out in front of it quickly, which really made all the difference, right? They didn't hang, they weren't waiting around to see what would happen. They jumped on it, and they put together, a consultative approach around, helping them get to that, getting workers remote. Using our UCAS, which, back in May, in the middle of all this, we had one of our largest months, right? Selling UCAS and SD-WAN and all these things that firewall for, to answer the security question at home. right? When you're moving people home, there's security issues there, right? So really, you know, from my perspective, it's the partners that jumped out, got in front of it early on, sort of embraced the change, and then you know, went to companies like TPX and, you know, for help and guidance, and then, you know, went out to the marketplace with that, or to their existing customers. So that was a big thing I saw that helped a lot of them, for sure.
Yeah, I love the saying, it's not the gale, it's the set of your sail that determines the way you go. And
Right,
you know,
right,
same,
yeah.
same thing here in the West. The partners that, you know, don't shrink back in this economy and go forward because the customers need the services that we provide. Those are the ones that are winning. Well, John, I know you're a fan of the Top Gun Show,
I am, of
and I
course.
always close the show with a
By
little
the way,
known
this
personal
isn't,
fact.
yeah, this isn't vodka. This is ice water.
Okay. Yeah, I won't tell Jim Dallas
It
that
is
you're
after
drinking.
5,
Well,
though.
it's drinking time there. It's 6:15, right?
Yeah, right,
Um,
right.
why don't you tell the viewers a little known, you know, personal fact about yourself?
Oh boy. Okay. So I'd have to you know, say this. I think there's only a couple people maybe in TPX that know this about me. But I'm a musician. I'm a drummer all my life, and I still actually play out in rock bands, a rock band. We just actually played about 3 weeks ago. So you know, it's a great hobby. Certainly you know, a huge joy for me in my life to go be able to play music. And I'm playing in a band now with, you know, the guitar player in the band is he and I played together when we were 16 years old. So it's you know, it's pretty cool from that perspective. But that's probably the, you know, the little known fact that I don't think I socialize that too much, because you know, sometimes I think that people are going to think I'm crazy that I'm playing in a rock band still. You know, the old guy playing rock music. But that's the I'd have to go with that. I don't think too many people know that about me.
Well, I've always thought you're a rock star, and now I know why I think you're a rock star. So
There you go. I didn't make that up because it's you know, because you said rock star before either, honestly.
yeah. Well, hey, John, thank you so much for joining on the show. I really appreciate it. Good to get to know you a little bit better, and thank you very much.
Yeah, you know, thank you, Steve. I really appreciate it. Have a great night.
You too, and thanks for watching, everybody.